We're now on Berachot, Perek Aleph, Mishnah Hey. Says the Mishnah, Mazkirin Yitziat Mitzrayim Baleilot. We mention Yitziat Mitzrayim at night. What does this mean? Essentially, this means that we include the third chapter of Kriyat Shema at night. Let's take a look at the prakim of Kriyat Shema. So as you see, we all know the first chapter of Kriyat Shema starts Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. There's Shema, that's the first chapter. The second chapter is V'haya Im Shamoah. Now, people who daven today understand they know that we say all three chapters, not only Shema, V'haya Im Shamoah, but we also say Vayomer Hashem, and the part that includes tzitzit. Well, everybody knows that at night we don't kiss a tzitzit because there's no mitzvah to wear tzitzit at night. We'll come across that much later on. But it's not well known that it wasn't so clear why in the world should we say the third chapter of Kriyat Shema at night. Okay. This chapter of Vayomer is called Yetziat Mitzrayim because of the end. It says, Ani Hashem Elokeichem, Asher Hotzeiti Etchem Me'eretz Mitzrayim Le'od Lachem Le'Elokim. It's called Yetziat Mitzrayim, okay, because of the Yetziat Mitzrayim that's mentioned. Meaning the essence of this chapter is not tzitzit, it's not the kissing of the tzitzit, but rather it's Yetziat Mitzrayim. So for this reason, the Mishnah has to tell us we need to say this chapter of Yetziat Mitzrayim at night. Why? The first chapter, we know we do it at night, because it says, Ubishach B'cha, when you lie down. The second chapter also, in V'haya, it also says, V'shivtecha b'veitecha v'lechtecha uvishach b'cha v'kumecha. But if you looked at the third chapter of Kriyat Shema, there is no such mention of night. So how do we know that you're supposed to mention Yetziat Mitzrayim at night? So from this, we have a nice idea, a nice story, sort of, a chapter that actually is directly quoted in the Haggadah Shel Pesach. I mentioned it on Pesach night. Says the Mishnah, Amar Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, Harei ani kiven shivim shana. Behold, I am like I am 70 years old. V'lo zachiti shete'amer Yetziat Mitzrayim baleilot. I did not merit from zocheh. I did not merit to understand why shete'amer Yetziat Mitzrayim should be said at night. Ad shedrasha ben Zoma, until I heard this beautiful drasha of Ben Zoma. What was his drasha? As he says, Shne'emar, it is written in the Torah, in Dvarim, Leman tizkor et yom tzeitcha me'eretz Mitzrayim kol yemei chayecha. You should remember the day that you went out of Egypt, kol yemei chayecha, all the days of your life. So Ben Zoma is a drasha. He says, yemei chayecha, the words yemei chayecha, they refer to the days, yamim. Kol yemei chayecha, all the days of your night, halelot. They refer to all the days, kol yemei chayecha, all the days of your life, halelot. So that refers to the leilot. So the extra word of kol in the pasuk teaches us, that not only do you have to recite Kriyat Shema during the day, you also have to recite Kriyat Shema at night. The Chachamim say no. Yemei chayecha ha'olam hazeh. The words yemei chayecha refer to ha'olam hazeh in this era, we'll call it. Kol yemei chayecha, all the days of your life, lahavidi yemot HaMashiach. They will include Yemot HaMashiach. Let's just see this in the chart for a second. Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah says Yemei Chayecha refers to Hayamim, that you have to say Kriyat Shema during the day, and also Kol Yemei Chayecha Halelot. The Chachamim say no. Yemei Chayecha is Olam Hazeh, this world, and Kol Yemei Chayecha is in the days of Mashiach. So there's a few fascinating elements of this machloket that we have to discuss. First of all, according to the Chachamim, it's not clear that they said Yetziat Mitzrayim at night, meaning we paskin like Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. But the Chachamim seem to, whatever reason, disagree and say there's no pasuk, there's no proof text that we require that we say Kriyat Shema at night. So it could very well be that according to the Chachamim in the times of the Mishnah, they didn't say Kriyat Shema at night. When they said Shema, they recited Shema and V'haya Im Shamoah, and then they went on, they went home or whatever. They didn't say all three. Some Chachamim, it's unclear who the Chachamim really are. But there's also another interesting, fascinating aspect of the Chachamim. Chachamim say why we mention Yetziat Mitzrayim? The exodus from Egypt represents the birth of the Jewish people. It represents the establishment of the Jewish nation. So we say it all the time. We say it on Shabbat, we say it on Chagim, all the time. Zecher Yetziat Mitzrayim. We remember the exodus from Egypt over and over and over again. When the times of Mashiach come, there's going to be a rebirth of the Jewish people. Will we still remember Yetziat Mitzrayim or not? Will we still have to say Vayomer? Will we still have to be enthralled with the idea and focus on this idea that Yetziat Mitzrayim was such a monumental event? Said the Chachamim, yes, we have a pasuk that says, Kol Yemei Chayecha, all the days of your lives, even after Yemot HaMashiach, we are still going to be remembering Yetziat Mitzrayim. It's still going to be a monumental, a fundamental element of what it means to be a Jew. What does that mean about Rabbi Eliezer ben Azariah? Does he also think that Lahavi Yemot HaMashiach? Does he also think that when Mashiach comes, we're going to recite Kriyat Shema, including Vayomer, including Yetziat Mitzrayim? Or will the Yemot HaMashiach, or the Biyat HaMashiach, the coming of the redemption, be so monumental that we're no longer going to be focusing on Yetziat Mitzrayim? It's hard to imagine, but it's not included, at least in this drasha. I'll end off by referring to something that Rabbi Eliezer ben Azariah said. Amar Rabbi Eliezer ben Azariah, Hare ani keven 70 shana. Behold, I am like 70 years old. Why does he say this? So this is a very famous story in the Gemara in Berachot later on, Chavchet, I think. The Gemara says that there was a huge fight in the Mitzvah and the Yeshiva, who should be the Rosh Yeshiva. And for reasons that we're not going to go into now, they fired Rabban Gamliel. And they didn't know who to hire. They wanted to hire Rabbi Yoshua, but he was part of the fight, and Rabbi Akiva, but he didn't have Yichus. So they came upon Rabbi Eliezer ben Azariah. And Rabbi Eliezer, they asked him, and they said, you want to be Rosh Yeshiva? And he says, I'll go ask my wife. So he goes home and he says, there's only one problem. I'm only 18 years old. So the Gemara says that overnight, he grew 18 white hairs, 18 long white hairs. And it was a sign of his age. Some say it was a sign that he understood what the responsibilities of being the Rosh Yeshiva were. And so his beard got gray right away. But nonetheless, anytime you see this phrase, Harei ani kiven 70 shana, that's what he means. He means, I might look like I'm 70, but I'm not 70 years old. Tells you a lot about the responsibilities of maintaining the Jewish community, even in the old days, and probably especially old days in Bavel. As always, if you have any questions or comments, email me at rspolter, rspolter, @gmail.com. Have a great day.